If you imagine conflict in the Taiwan Strait, it probably looks like something out of Call of Duty. Missiles raining over Taipei, Chinese Marines storming beaches, warships clashing at sea, basically World War III. If you've been paying attention to the news, you can't avoid talk of the conflict. Chinese President Xi Jinping has made reunification with Taiwan a major policy focus and a key pillar of his nationalist agenda.
祖国统一是历史必然，两岸同胞要携手同心，共享民族复兴的伟大荣光。
Xi has ordered the People's Liberation Army to be ready to seize Taiwan by 2027. That's soon. And the PLA has been conducting near daily military drills around the island of late, making policymakers and military analysts pretty nervous. China, at least, is showing that they want to be prepared for an invasion. But is a war with Taiwan in Beijing's interest? It would be deadly, it'd be costly, likely to drag in the United States and its allies. No bueno. Instead, could China take Taiwan without firing a single shot? Think about the geography. Taiwan is an island with few natural resources. They import 97% of its energy, 70% of its food, and they rely on undersea cables for their internet. They've got 5 months of oil, a month of coal, maybe a year of food and reserves. Taiwan also relies heavily on exports like microchips, which make up about 70% of its GDP. Interrupting Taiwan's trade, and it wouldn't just hurt its economy, it would threaten its survival. Even a 50% drop would cripple the island. That's where a quarantine comes in. China could manufacture some minor security incident in the strait and announce new safety inspections for all ships entering and exiting. They could deploy the Coast Guard, technically a civilian law enforcement body, not the military, to inspect cargo and turn away tankers. Nothing overtly military, like customs, with Chinese characteristics. This tactic is what is called a gray zone. It's warfare action that stays just below a threshold that would trigger an international response. You can see why it's ideal for Beijing. No missiles, no tanks, just a slow, suffocating squeeze. And China wouldn't have to stop there. Cyber attacks could knock out Taiwan's power grid, banking system. Disinformation would flood the Taiwanese internet and undermine government trust. If Taiwan responds with force, China can claim it was provoked and escalate. Add to all this uncertainty the U.S. response. The Taiwan Relations Act says that Washington will help Taiwan defend itself, and it considers coercion, including blockades, a threat to peace. But would a United States president really risk war with a nuclear-armed China over what Beijing claims are legal maritime safety inspections? For decades, the U.S. has adhered to a policy known as strategic ambiguity, refusing to say whether it would indeed use military force to help defend Taiwan if China invaded. That ambiguity has worked so far. But it leaves Taipei open to exactly the sort of non-military pressure that Beijing prefers. It's a slow, steady erosion of Taiwanese autonomy, and it leaves the world wondering, how far can China push? How long can Taiwan hold out before a crisis is inevitable?